Man scarred after being struck by lightning bolt while sat on sofa playing PlayStation.
Queen's Guard collapses and falls on his face while on coffin podium.
Study finds potential link between daily multivitamin and improved cognition in older adults.
US FDA approves new drug for treatment of plaque psoriasis.
Danish Queen tests positive for COVID day after Queen Elizabeth II's funeral.
Skipping breakfast could affect children's mental health, study says.
Cancer-killing virus shows promise in patients.
Hong Kong to end COVID hotel quarantine policy.
Japan to lift restrictions on foreign tourists.
Non-communicable diseases now leading cause of deaths globally, WHO says.
Shopper stabbed to death by man who refused to thank him for holding door open. Man scarred after being struck by lightning bolt while sat on sofa playing PlayStation. A man was sitting on his sofa, playing his PlayStation, when he was struck by lightning. Aidan Rowan, 33, was sitting on his couch when he heard a loud crack and felt a heavy sensation throughout his body. The 33-year-old immediately collapsed and was left with scars as a result of the bizarre event. Coincidentally, he had been playing Stray, a game in which you control a lost cat during a thunderstorm, when the lightning bolt struck his Oxfordshire home. Aaron, Aidan's 32-year-old husband, rushed to his aid and rushed him to the hospital around 10:30 p.m. last Monday. He was kept under observation for several hours before being released with pain medication.
Queen's Guard collapses and falls on his face while on coffin podium. A royal guard fainted and fell off the podium where he was protecting the Queen's coffin, prompting police to rush to his aid. Massive lines of mourners have formed in London streets to see the Queen lying in state at Westminster Hall ahead of her funeral on Monday. Soldiers marched with the coffin from Buckingham Palace on Wednesday, but the strain appeared to be too much for one of the guards at Westminster Hall, who fainted. Mourners gasped as he fell to the ground, which was captured on video. It happened as a group of guards were starting to switch duties, and one of them appeared to be trembling before falling seconds later. 2 officers were seen racing over to pick him up.
Study finds potential link between daily multivitamin and improved cognition in older adults. According to a new study, taking a daily multivitamin may be associated with improved brain function in older adults, and the benefit appears to be greater for those with a history of cardiovascular disease. The findings shocked the researchers, according to Laura Baker, an author of the study and professor of gerontology and geriatric medicine at Wake Forest University in North Carolina. The Wake Forest University School of Medicine researchers, in collaboration with Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, looked at cognitive function in older adults who were randomly assigned to take a cocoa extract supplement containing flavonoids, a multivitamin, or a placebo every day for 3 years. Until the results were revealed, no one, not even the researchers, knew who was assigned to which daily routine. We really believed that the cocoa extract was going to have some benefits for cognition based on prior reports of cardiovascular benefit. So we're waiting for that big reveal in our data analysis, and it was not cocoa extract that benefited cognition, but rather the multivitamin, Baker said. We are excited because our findings have uncovered a new avenue for investigation for a simple, accessible, safe, inexpensive intervention that could have the potential to provide a layer of protection against cognitive decline. However, she and her colleagues are not yet ready to recommend that older adults add a daily multivitamin to their routine based solely on these findings. The findings are preliminary and cannot be generalized to the general public. More research is needed to back them up.
US FDA approves new drug for treatment of plaque psoriasis. Sotyktu, deucravacitinib, is a new oral medication approved by the US Food and Drug Administration for the treatment of moderate to severe plaque psoriasis in adults. The drug is manufactured by Bristol Myers Squibb, an American multinational pharmaceutical company, and is a first-in-class, oral, selective, allosteric tyrosine kinase 2 inhibitor that should not be used in conjunction with other potent immunosuppressants. Plaque psoriasis, which is the most common type of psoriasis, is a skin disease that causes a rash with itchy, scaly patches, commonly on the knees, elbows, trunk, and scalp. The patches vary in color, depending on the skin tone. It is a common, long-term chronic disease with no cure that can be painful. It can also disrupt sleep and make it difficult to concentrate. Psoriasis is a serious global problem, affecting at least 100 million people worldwide in some form.
Danish Queen tests positive for COVID day after Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. The Queen of Denmark tested positive for COVID-19 for the second time this year, according to the Danish Royal Court. Following the diagnosis on Tuesday evening, Queen Margrethe II cancelled her appointments for this week. On Monday, the 82-year-old monarch was among 2,000 people who attended Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral. Following the death of the British monarch, she is Europe's longest-serving head of state. She and Queen Elizabeth were third cousins, both descended from Queen Victoria. Queen Margrethe has been immunized against COVID and tested positive in February of this year, when she was experiencing mild symptoms. According to a statement on the palace website, she will be recovering at Fredensborg Palace, north of Copenhagen.
Skipping breakfast could affect children's mental health, study says. A new study conducted by researchers in Spain has suggested that skipping breakfast may increase a teenager's risk of psychosocial health problems. Breakfast is important for teenage children's mental health, according to the researchers. They went on to say that the type of food children eat and where they eat it are also crucial. According to the researchers, eating breakfast at home is important because it provides teenagers with both physical and psychosocial benefits.
Cancer-killing virus shows promise in patients. According to UK scientists, a new type of cancer therapy that uses a common virus to infect and destroy harmful cells is showing great promise in early human trials. One patient's cancer completely disappeared, while others saw their tumors shrink. The drug is a weakened form of the herpes simplex virus that has been modified to kill tumors. Larger and longer studies will be required, but experts believe the injection could eventually provide a lifeline to more people with advanced cancers. Krzysztof Wojciechowski, a 39-year-old builder from West London, is one of the patients who took part in the Institute of Cancer Research and the Royal Marsden NHS Foundation Trust's ongoing Phase 1 safety trial. The cancer in Krzysztof is no longer detectable.
Hong Kong to end COVID hotel quarantine policy. The Hong Kong government has announced that beginning Monday, visitors to the city will no longer be required to enter mandatory hotel quarantine. Additionally, passengers will no longer be required to show a negative COVID test before boarding a flight to Hong Kong. They will instead monitor themselves for possible infection for 3 days. The news sparked a rush for Hong Kong flight tickets, with the Cathay Pacific website operating a booking queue. Hong Kong has some of the strictest rules in the world because it adheres to China's zero-COVID policies. As a result, its departure from what the mainland is doing has been long anticipated. Arrival restrictions have been in place for more than 2 years.
Japan to lift restrictions on foreign tourists. After more than 2 years of closed borders due to the COVID pandemic, Japan will reopen its doors to foreign tourists. From the 11th of October, tourists will be able to enter the country without a visa and will no longer need to go through a travel agency. A daily arrivals cap will also be lifted. Japan's announcement coincides with the relaxation of visitor entry rules in Taiwan and Hong Kong. Taiwan will eliminate quarantine requirements for international arrivals by mid-October, while Hong Kong announced on Friday that it will transition from hotel quarantine to stay-at-home requirements beginning September 26.
Non-communicable diseases now leading cause of deaths globally, WHO says. According to the World Health Organization, non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and lung disease have surpassed infectious diseases as the leading causes of death worldwide. The WHO stated that NCD account for nearly 3/4 of all deaths worldwide, with someone under the age of 70 dying of an NCD every 2 seconds. In an effort to reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus released a report on Wednesday urging leaders worldwide to take immediate action on NCD, which cause 17 million premature deaths each year. This report is a reminder of the true scale of the threat posed by NCD and their risk factors, Dr. Tedros added.
Shopper stabbed to death by man who refused to thank him for holding door open. A man was stabbed to death after complaining to another customer about not saying thank you when he held the door open for him. As a violent crime wave sweeps New York City, the 37-year-old was stabbed outside a Brooklyn smoke shop. The victim, who has not been identified, was stabbed around 10:20 p.m. on Tuesday after holding the door open for a fellow customer walking into the 4th Avenue Tobacco Road Corp in Gowanus. The victim is said to have become enraged after questioning the suspect about why he did not say thank you. Outside, an argument erupted, and the victim punched the suspect, who was trying to leave. The victim was then fatally stabbed in the neck and abdomen. The victim was taken to Brooklyn Methodist Hospital, where he was sadly pronounced dead. For your daily global health news, visit www.staywellworld.org. Please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment. If you've already subscribed, turn on the notification icon so you don't miss any update. Thank you for watching.